When I was 19 to 23, I was in the Canadian military. I'm 34 years old now. They lied to get me in. Basically, I applied for the Navy and they offered me a job as a vehicle technician in the Army. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And the recruiter's like, oh, don't worry. As soon as you get in, you can remuster and change trades. So that was a lie. So right away, when I was 18 years old, they were lying to me before I even got in. And I learned at a very young age that I don't like I don't like the government. Like what they do, the way they treat our people, the way they treated me, the way I was forced to take all of these needles and vaccinations and getting told what to do by people who are so broken and should definitely not be telling people what to do. But that's a system. It's a chain of command. And if you get in, it's basically time in. And then eventually you start to get promotions and stuff. And the more you are in, the longer you're in, the more seniority you get, the more leeway you get, the easier it becomes, and the harder it is to leave. They get you. They really get you. They make it harder and harder to leave as you start to get more seniority and start to make more money and start to be the boss of more people. It's just this big chain of command, this pyramid that basically leads to the Prime Minister of Canada is the top of it. And if you're a private or a corporal, you're down at the bottom of the pyramid pretty much. And so, yeah, that's what I was for 4 years in the military. And I hated it. I learned really young that I didn't like being told what to do, especially by idiots, that I want to be walking my own path. So my idea was just to do my 4 years and get out. So I got really good at meeting the bare minimum. So I was a vehicle tech, and like I said, they lied to me. I didn't remuster, had a lot of trouble trying to remuster. And I basically did 4 years in a job that I didn't love at all. I hated it. Some lung opening peppermint bomb. So yeah, I did 4 years of a job that I hated. Bit my tongue a lot, being told what to do by idiots, in mild trouble all the time. The bosses usually didn't like me. Most of them didn't like me. I'd show up and do good in sports, and then I'd go to class and literally meet the bare minimum. I was always like a C+ student. I could always, I'm sharp, but I never like really tried unless I love something. But I didn't love what I was doing. So what I did was figure out how to manipulate the system. I'd figure out the system because you're on salary when you're in the military. So it doesn't matter how much or how little you work, you're making the same amount of money. So I did whatever I could to make my life better when I was in there. So I played hockey and joined any sporting events that I could do. I love fitness. I love exercise. So that was a big thing that I did enjoy when I was there. But even then I would get in trouble for example, kicking a soccer ball too hard in gym and, possibly hurting someone. Seemed like I was always under the gun. And I actually had residual anxiety for like 10, 15 years after I got out of the military because I always felt like I was low level in trouble because for that 4 years, I always was in trouble. There was always someone bitching at me and saying something to me. But yeah, it's all a system and everyone has bosses. And basically, I figured out how to manipulate the system. So one thing I did, and now I actually regret this, but I got my wisdom teeth taken out one by one. And I was living in Quebec at the time, and they would make us go out in the field for a week in January, February in -30 Celsius and train for World War I. We would literally point a rifle at nothing, be sleeping 1 to 2 hours a night, super sleep deprived, eating terrible food, sleep deprived, wasting money, wasting taxpayers' money, doing the dumbest stuff that you will never have to do ever. But yet we were doing that. We were training for World War I, basically, in 2012. And I love sleeping at least 6 hours minimum. Like sleep is so important. Sleep, it's like after air, it's the number one thing you will die without. Like if you don't have oxygen, you don't have sleep, you don't have food, you'll die without oxygen first. You will die without sleep before you'll die without water. Like sleep is that important. Anyways, sleep deprived, being surrounded by idiots, getting told what to do all the time. So I hated it. And if you go to the doctor and you get a medical, called it a chit, a medical sheet saying you didn't have to go to work, then you were excused, and your bosses couldn't say shit because you have a medical record saying you don't need to work. So I'm like, okay, let's go to the doctors the day before we go out to the field, get a medical chit. So I'd be like, oh, my jaw hurts. And my jaw was a little sore. Like my wisdom teeth were growing this way. Maybe it was placebo. Maybe I was thinking about it. Maybe it was a psyop from the government that said, you know, you need to get your wisdom teeth taken out when they're growing this way because there's no room or whatever. Or, I don't know. I do know that they're connected deep to the trigeminal nerve, connected to the heart, connected to the brain. They're called wisdom teeth. I mean, that alone must say something. They have more stem cells in them than our bone marrow. There's a lot of powerful things about them. And you know, I believe if God has given us something, that has blessed us with something in our body, like it shouldn't be taken out. Like, you know, our tonsils, our appendix, our gallbladder, people are getting that stuff removed all the time. And it's like a $3 to $5 billion industry in the US alone, getting your wisdom teeth taken out. So, I mean, I don't know. I wonder what happened. That's, you know, dentistry is also controlled by the Rockefeller system, not just allopathic medicine. So one by one, I would get my wisdom teeth taken out, one by one. And every time I did, I didn't love myself back then. I didn't truly love myself. I didn't care. I was addicted to drugs and alcohol, and I was still numbing myself out from my crazy upbringing. And I never actually truly felt what it felt like to feel my own emotions because I numbed myself out. Since 11 years old, I started smoking weed and eating mushrooms at 11. And I was in my probably early 20s at this point, 2021. I think I was 21 when I started to do the wisdom teeth tricks. And so yeah, afterwards the doctor would give me some Percocets. So then the next day I would go back to the hospital and be like, oh, I'm in so much pain. These Percocets ain't doing shit. And then they give me Oxycontins. And then I would have time off, and then I'd be at home eating Percocets and Oxys like Skittles while my friends, some you know, other people that I had to work with were in the field freezing their asses off doing really annoying shit. So I felt really good to be warm. It felt so nice to be warm because I don't like being in minus 30 outside, sleeping outside and sleep deprived and hungry and just toes freezing. It's inhumane, especially doing it. If it made sense, if what we were doing made sense, then maybe I wouldn't mind it. I'd be down to go do something that like, you know, you were training for something that actually had a purpose. But training for World War I in 2012 has no purpose. Zero. It is just stupid. It's so stupid. There's such a waste of food and gas and money and energy and time and bandwidth. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So stupid. So stupid. So I'm a simple, sensible human. I like to do things that make sense, or I like to save energy and time. And, you know, staying at home, being comfortable, eating Percocets made a lot more sense to me back then than going to freeze myself doing something I hated, being around most people that I didn't enjoy being around, getting told what to do by idiots. So I got my wisdom teeth taken out one by one, 4 separate times, strategically the day before we would have to go out in the field. And yeah, now looking back, like now being a health nerd, I know that the wisdom teeth, they're definitely connected to some good stuff. I would love to have my wisdom teeth back. Yeah, because you know, it can leave like empty spots, it can get infected, it can be dead bone in there, and depending on how good the surgery was, So anyways, I'm good. Nothing as bad has come from it, but just in hindsight, like, holy crap. Also, like, I feel like I was kind of smart at the time. Like, I did believe I needed them out. Maybe I did. Maybe I actually did, because they were growing this way. I seen x-rays. So maybe I did. One thing is for sure, like, fuck the system. One of my favorite ways to live life is to live life by my own rules. Like, you are the center of the universe. You are the most important person in your life. You are the creator. You're the one who gets to make things happen. So what are you going to do with it? It's so beautiful. So I chose to get people to help me do my job. Like, even when I was a mechanic, I hated it. Like, I hated it. I was working on tanks and trying to unscrew this, like, a big bolt in a tight place, and the wrench would slip and I'd punch metal, and just, like, wasn't aligned with me. Not something I wanted to do. So I would ask people, like, hey, can you show me how to do this? And then they would show me how to do it. And I'd be like, thanks. And then my job would be like, that'd be a hard part of my job done for me by someone. And I was appreciative. And people that like doing it, like, most of the people I was working with really enjoyed doing the mechanic stuff. So yeah, your life is your responsibility. You get to choose, you get to create. And once I started to follow my dreams, follow my purpose, or just, like, follow the path, because I didn't know what my purpose was when I actually just wanted to party and travel. That's all I wanted to do, which led me to hitting a rock bottom. But yeah, on the journey, I felt more and more empty and empty and empty and empty. Feeling is the highest form of communication. When you're out of alignment, you feel it. You don't feel in alignment. You know it. You feel disconnected from your heart. You feel anxiousness or some negative emotions. Maybe bad things are happening to you when you're living out of alignment. And I think one of the biggest sins in life is spending our time in the way that we're expected to, or we're manipulated to, because from the day we're born, society, our parents, our teachers, all kinds of people are telling us what to do. Hey, do this, be this. This is how it's done. This is the way you should do these things. This is this, that. Do it like this. Bop, bop, bop. And maybe they're right. Maybe the intentions are good, but nobody knows but you what's in here. They say the longest journey in life is the one from the mind to the heart. The more we can be heart-centered, the more we can be living following our heart, the more in alignment we'll be. And once you actually find out what you're here for, what you're meant to do, which may be multiple things, but once you start working towards that, it feels so good. You start to feel so full. Good things start to happen. You start to help people. And it's really connected to our purpose, or, all the hard things that happen to us in life. These things tend to give us the lessons that we need so we can service humanity at a deeper level, which is really beautiful. So in reality, nothing bad ever happens to you in life. Nothing bad ever actually happens to you, because the worst things that ever happen to you teach you the greatest lessons that you need so you can become the highest version of yourself. So nothing bad ever happens to us in life. Just hard things, but it's up to us to figure out how we react, the lessons we learn, and how we move forward. It's pretty cool. Create and react are anagrams. So that says something, right? So yeah, life's beautiful. Life is really beautiful. Yeah, things really started to open up for me when I found out my purpose, decided to choose, okay, like, God wants me to be a healer. Too many synchronistic things happened for me to ignore this, so I'm going to follow the signs. And it led me to helping millions of people. Even I don't know how many, but over 1 billion people have seen my work, or I've gotten over 1 billion views with my work, and I've gotten a lot of messages saying it helped me, and I believe that it creates a ripple effect. So I've helped tens of thousands of people at this point, and it landed me in a beautiful location in Guatemala, feeling grounded, and all from following my heart, my purpose. And anytime that I would get away from it and start focusing on things that were not in alignment with it, bad things would happen. And then I'd come back and really just focus on service and helping people, and good things would start happening. So really, our main thing in life is to be of service to others, really, and to live, to be of service. And if we're not working a job that helps others or is fulfilling for us, it feeds our spirit. If we're doing something that makes us feel dull inside, we're doing a disservice to humanity. And sometimes we need to do these things in order to get the security, to meet our hierarchy of needs, to be able to be comfortable so we can actually follow our dreams or whatever, figure out what it is. Because if you don't know, like, in order to figure out who you are, you must first figure out who you are not. So you have to do a lot of things. You got to try a lot of things. You got to put yourself out there. You really got to put yourself out there and do the thing. And the universe will tell you what you're good at and what they want us to be doing. And it can help guide us, like people. That's when I'm talking about the universe, I'm talking about, like, other people will tell you what you're good at and explain to you that, oh, you're really good at teaching, or your art is amazing, or, oh, you're so good at that. And that's usually a sign. So listen, when people say these things, listen. And if it feels passionate and aligned, and, if you love doing it, then there's some answers in there to be discovered. Yeah. So anyways, I'm ranting. Want to send you love. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you got any value, if you're into the healing arts or whatever. And yeah, just remember that your life is your responsibility. The most important person in your life is you. You can do whatever you want in this life, if you're consistent. You can't fail if you don't quit. And consistency, I believe, is the 8th wonder of the world. If you do something again and again, day in and day out, a little bit each day, it starts to build and eventually and takes off. And you can become the best in the world at something if you do it a little bit every day for, I don't know, a year goes by pretty quick, 2 years go by pretty quick, and the weeks become months, the months become years, the years become decades, and wow, life seems to go by quicker and quicker as you age, especially with cell phones. The more time you spend on the screen, the more it seems to take you out from reality, and the faster the days seem to go. So yeah, having good awareness and boundaries, being a creator, more of a creator than a consumer, or a consumer of knowledge until you can feel ready to be more of a creator. Because yeah, that's another phase, the apprenticeship phase of life. Again, thank you if you're still here, thank you so much. I want to send you so much love, many blessings, and yeah, make it a great day.